Imagine quitting your job tomorrow and never working again. Sounds impossible, right? What if I told you that you could quit your job tomorrow, never work another day in your life, and live comfortably with just $500,000 in the bank? What if I told you that while everyone else is working hard and chasing their first or second million, you could be relaxing on a beach somewhere, completely financially free, with much less money than they think is necessary? Most people would say that's impossible. They would say you redreaming and that $500,000 is not enough to live without working for the rest of your life. Here's the shocking truth. They are completely wrong. And today, I'm going to show you why. Hi, I'm Mike. I teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If this video helps you, please subscribe and like it. Here's something that might surprise you. Recent surveys show that most Americans think they need at least $2 million to retire comfortably. Some even believe they need $5 million or more. At the same time, there are people right now living better lives than many millionaires, and they are doing it with just $500,000 invested wisely. The difference is not luck or a secret strategy that only rich people know. The difference is understanding a basic principle that most people ignore. Quick question for you. When you think about financial freedom, what do you imagine? Maybe you think of luxury cars, designer clothes, and huge houses. Maybe you picture flying first class and eating at 5-star restaurants every night. Or maybe you imagine something simpler, waking up without an alarm, spending your days however you want, and never worrying about paying rent or bills. Most people have it completely wrong. They think being wealthy means owning a lot of things, but real wealth means having choices. And having choices does not require as much money as most people believe. The key is understanding something that sounds very simple. If you can earn enough passive income to cover your basic living expenses, you never have to work again. It's not about having millions of dollars sitting in your bank account. It is about having your money work for you so that you don't have to work for money. Let's break it down with numbers because this part is fascinating. Take that $500,000 and invest it in safe, steady investments. This includes bonds, high-yield savings accounts, and other low-risk options that give regular returns. With these types of investments, you can reasonably expect around 5% per year. That may not sound exciting, but let's see what it means for your life. 5% of $500,000 is $25,000 per year. That is more than $2,000 per month coming in without you doing any work. You are not spending your main $500,000. You are only living off the interest your money earns. Think about that. Your money is working harder than many people do at their jobs. Here's the game changer. $25,000 per year might not seem like a lot, especially if you are used to earning more. But here is what changes everything. You are no longer trading your time for money. Every day is yours. You can wake up when you want, go where you want, and do what you want. There is no boss, no long commute, and no unnecessary meetings. And it gets even better. If you are willing to take a little more risk and invest part of that $500,000 in the stock market through diversified funds, your returns could be higher. A balanced mix of stocks and bonds can reasonably earn 8 to 9% per year over time. Let's use 8.5% as an example. 8.5% of $500,000 is $42,500 per year. That is more than $3,500 per month in passive income. Now imagine this. You could do more than just cover basic needs. You could travel, enjoy hobbies, or support causes you care about while your investment continues to grow. This is where the strategy becomes powerful. Most people think about retirement the wrong way. They believe they need to save a huge amount of money and then slowly spend it until they die. But what if you never had to spend your main amount at all? What if you only lived off the returns and let your money last forever? Here's the key difference. This is the difference between thinking like a consumer and thinking like an investor. Consumers spend money and it's gone. Investors use money to make more money. Financial immortality. When you have $500,000 earning steady returns, you are not just financially independent. Your money can last beyond your lifetime and even be passed on to future generations. Most advisors won't tell you this. The biggest challenge to reaching financial independence is not earning more money. It is spending less money. A person who can live comfortably on $3,000 per month is actually richer than someone who needs $10,000 per month to maintain their lifestyle, no matter how much money either person has in the bank. Be honest with yourself. Do you really need a car payment that costs more than some people's rent? Do you need to eat at restaurants 5 times a week? Do you need the latest gadgets and designer clothes just because ads tell you that means success? I am not saying you should live in a very strict or boring way. I am saying that many people spend money on things that do not truly make them happier. And that spending is often the only thing stopping them from being financially free. Picture this scenario. You are single. You own your home completely, with no mortgage. Your monthly expenses, including taxes, insurance, utilities, food, and entertainment, add up to $2,500. With a $500,000 portfolio earning 8% per year, you would receive more than $3,500 per month. That means all your expenses are covered, and you still save an extra $1,000 each month without working. Even if you have a family, this can still work if you make smart lifestyle choices. Think smarter, not harder. Maybe you live in a place where living costs are lower. Maybe you paid off your mortgage early, removing your biggest monthly expense. Maybe you learn to enjoy simple activities instead of expensive ones. This strategy works for different situations. If you save more than $500,000, your passive income increases. And if you reduce your monthly expenses to less than what your investments earn, you create an even bigger safety cushion for emergencies or lifestyle upgrades. Don't let fear stop you. Many people stop themselves before they even begin. They see $500,000 and think it is impossible to save that much. They feel overwhelmed and give up. What they do not understand is that building wealth is not about making one big move. It is about taking small, steady steps in the right direction over time. Here's a realistic plan. If you can save just $2,000 per month, you will reach your $500,000 goal in about 18 years. That may sound like a long time when you are just starting, but think about where you were 18 years ago. Time will pass whether you are building wealth or not. The real question is this: 18 years from now, will you wish you had started today? And here's the good news. You do not have to save $2,000 per month from the beginning. Maybe you start with $500 per month and slowly increase it as your income grows. Maybe you seriously reduce your expenses and realize you can save more than you expected. Maybe you start a side job just to fund your financial freedom account. The important thing is that this is not a dream only for people with trust funds or lottery winners. It is something that can happen for anyone who chooses to care more about their future than their current desires. This one might make you laugh or cry, depending on how you look at it. Most people spend more money on cars during their lifetime than what they would need to become financially independent. Think about that. The average person buys a new car every 6 years, takes loans with interest, and pays for insurance, maintenance, and fuel. Over 40 years, they can easily spend $600,000 or more just on transportation. Meanwhile, they say they cannot afford to save for retirement. Here's another shocking truth. The average American spends more than $3,000 per year on coffee, eating out, and convenience foods. That $3,000 is gone forever and only gives short-term enjoyment. If that same $3,000 were invested every year at an 8% return, it could grow to more than $800,000 in 30 years. I'm not saying you should never enjoy a nice meal or a good cup of coffee. I'm saying that many people unconsciously choose short-term pleasure over long-term freedom, and they don't even realize it. Now here's where this strategy really becomes powerful. And it's something traditional financial advice often misses. Once you build that $500,000 foundation that generates passive income, you are no longer desperate. You are not stuck in a job you dislike just because you need the paycheck. You are not making decisions out of fear or stress about money. This changes everything about opportunities in your life. Maybe you always wanted to start a business, but were afraid to lose your steady income. If your investments pay for your basic expenses, you can take that risk. Maybe you want to return to school or learn a new skill. When you are not worried about rent, you can invest in yourself without feeling extreme pressure to earn money immediately. Or maybe you want to travel the world while you are still young and healthy enough to enjoy it. When your money works for you, you don't have to delay your dreams until retirement, when you may not have the energy or health to enjoy them. This is what true wealth really is. It is not about showing off or trying to impress others. It is about having choices. It is about being able to say no to what does not help you and yes to what truly matters. It is about building your life based on your values, not just your bank balance. Now, a common concern, you might be thinking about inflation. Won't prices go up over time and make your passive income worth less? That is a fair question, and the strategy already considers it if done properly. If your investments earn 8 to 9% per year, and you only spend 6 to 7% of your portfolio each year, the extra growth helps your money keep up with inflation. Your main investment slowly grows, and your passive income also grows over time. You are not only protecting your buying power, you are increasing it. And here's something many people forget: Social Security benefits. I'm not saying you should fully depend on Social Security staying exactly the same in the future. However, even with possible changes, it will likely provide some extra income. Right now, the average Social Security payment is about $1,900 per month. For a married couple, that can be close to $4,000 per month. When you add that to your investment income, you can live very comfortably. Here's what separates successful wealth builders from everyone else. They know this isn't just about reaching a number and relaxing. It is about building habits and a mindset that make financial independence almost certain. When you focus on building your $500,000 foundation, you naturally become more careful about how you spend money. You learn the difference between what you truly need and what you simply want in the moment. You begin to notice how marketing tries to convince you to spend. You build what I call resistance to lifestyle inflation. Most people fall into the trap. As soon as they start earning more, they immediately start spending more. They move to a bigger apartment, buy a nicer car, and eat at more expensive places. Their expenses grow as their income grows, so they never actually move forward. They are just running faster, but staying in the same place. Here's the smarter way. When you are working toward financial independence, every dollar has a clear purpose. You are not denying yourself all enjoyment, but you are making smart and intentional choices. You understand that every dollar you do not waste on something temporary is a dollar that can work for you forever. And here's the mindset shift that matters most. This change is probably more valuable than the money itself. It means that even if something unexpected happens to your investments, you still have the knowledge and discipline to rebuild everything. You are not just rich because of your bank balance. You are rich because you understand money and have self-control. Speaking of unexpected events, let's talk about the big worry: market crashes. What if your investments lose value right when you need the income the most? These are real concerns, and that is exactly why diversification and safe withdrawal rates are so important. If you withdraw only 6 to 7% of your portfolio each year, and your investments are spread across different types, you can survive most market crashes without using your main money. In bad years, your account balance might go down, but you will still earn income. In good years, your account will grow, giving you extra protection for future bad times. Here's a different perspective on retirement. This is very different from the traditional method, where people slowly spend their savings and hope the money doesn't run out before they do. When you live on investment returns instead of spending your main amount, short-term market ups and downs become much less scary. Here's a truth most people don't realize. Most people will never reach this level of financial freedom, and it is not because they cannot earn money. It is because of how they think about money. They have been taught to believe that more things mean more happiness, when usually the opposite is true. I've seen this firsthand. People earning six-figure salaries who are completely broke because they are living like millionaires. At the same time, I know teachers and mechanics quietly building wealth because they understand the difference between looking rich and actually being rich. And here's the truth. Those two things are not the same. This might sting a little, but it needs to be said. If you cannot live comfortably on $42,000 per year, the problem is not that you do not earn enough money. The problem is that you have lost control of your spending. You have allowed your expenses to grow beyond what truly makes you happy, and now you are stuck in a cycle where you earn money just to spend money. Here's the good news. Unlike your neighbor who bought a boat he cannot afford just to impress people he does not even like, you can change your situation starting today. Every subscription you cancel, every impulse purchase you avoid, every time you cook at home instead of ordering takeout, you are buying back parts of your future freedom. Let's talk about freedom that really matters. It's not only about having money, it's about having time. Time to build meaningful relationships. Time to learn skills you care about. Time to support causes that matter to you. Time to sit quietly and think without someone demanding your attention every few minutes. When you are financially independent with $500,000 working for you, you are not just escaping the 9-to-5 routine. You are escaping a system that treats people like machines. You are taking back your most valuable resource. It is your life. Now, I won't pretend this path is easy. It requires discipline that most people do not have. It means saying no to things that everyone else says yes to. It means being patient in a world that wants everything instantly. It means being okay when people think you are strange because you drive a 10-year-old car and live in a simple home. But here's why it's worth it. Every month that passes, you move closer to full financial independence, while others go deeper into debt. Every year that passes, your money works harder for you, while others work harder for their money. Every decade that passes, you become more free, while others become more trapped. The $500,000 strategy is about freedom, not just retiring early. Maybe you love your job and want to continue doing it, but now you work because you want to, not because you need to. Maybe you want to start a nonprofit organization, write a book, teach children, or travel around the world documenting endangered animals. When your basic needs are covered by passive income, work becomes something you do for purpose, not survival. And there is a huge difference between those two reasons. One brings stress, burnout, and frustration. The other brings creativity, happiness, and meaning. Here's the final part that ties it all together. Building wealth is not just about saving money. It is about who you become during the journey. The discipline of investing for many years teaches you patience. Waiting for rewards teaches you to think long-term. Focusing on needs instead of wants teaches you what truly matters in life. These lessons go far beyond money. They affect your relationships, your health, your purpose, and your overall happiness. You become someone who makes thoughtful decisions instead of emotional ones. You become someone who controls money instead of letting money control you. And here's something beautiful. This approach spreads in a positive way. When people around you see that you are truly happier with fewer possessions and more freedom, they start questioning their own decisions. Maybe your friends stop chasing expensive social activities and start enjoying simpler moments. Maybe your family begins thinking differently about their financial future. You become proof that there is another way to live, a way that values experiences more than possessions, relationships more than status, and freedom more than the false security of a regular paycheck. So here's my challenge to you. Stop making excuses about why this cannot work for you. Stop telling yourself that saving $500,000 is impossible. Stop believing that you need millions to be financially free. Start with what you have right now. Maybe that means setting up an automatic transfer of $50 each month into an investment account. Maybe it means canceling subscriptions you do not use and putting that money into your freedom fund. Maybe it means having an honest talk with yourself about what you truly need versus what you only think you want. The path to financial independence is not complicated, but it is not easy. It requires you to think differently, act differently, and live differently from most people around you. But the reward is not only money in your bank account. The reward is living life on your own terms, having time as your greatest resource, and enjoying freedom every day. $500,000 can give you full financial independence if you use it wisely. The real question is not whether it is possible. The real question is whether you are ready to do what is required to achieve it. Your future self depends on the choice you make today. If you want to take control of your money and build real wealth, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.